Welcome to Change Bites with Rafa Mustafa, where change management insights are shared in small, practical bites. Tune in for actionable tips and real-world strategies, with an infographic summary available on the Agile-Brainz LinkedIn page and website. Let's dive into today's episode.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Change Bites, the podcast where we dive into all things change management. Today, I want to share a story from one of the most challenging and ultimately rewarding projects I've been part of. Imagine this. You walk into a finance department where a decade-old system limps along, causing more headaches than it solves. The staff have mastered workarounds just to keep things afloat, but frustration builds beneath the surface. Then comes the news. A shiny new cloud-based system is coming, and everyone's expected to make the switch. Sounds like a recipe for chaos, right? But that's where the magic of design thinking came into play. This isn't your average one-size-fits-all rollout. It's a people-first approach that transformed resistance into genuine enthusiasm. Today, I'll take you behind the scenes and show you how I use design thinking to turn this transition into a success story. Whether you are gearing up for a major tech change or looking to apply more human-centered strategies, you will find some practical gems here. But first, let's break down what design thinking really is. At its core, design thinking is about problem solving, but not just any problem solving. It's about seeing through the eyes of the impacted people and iteratively refining solutions based on their real-world experiences. Harvard Business School Online Business Insights blog outlines design thinking steps in 4 key stages. The first step is empathize with the users to understand their needs. Next one is ideate or brainstorm creative solutions. Then we move to prototype small-scale versions. And then the last stage is to test and refine based on feedback. Design thinking is a non-linear process, and that's exactly what makes it so adaptable. So how did I bring this into our financial system upgrade? Let's set the scene. Employees had built a love-hate relationship with the old system. It was familiar and easy to navigate, but full of frustrating, recurring issues. When word of the upgrade spread, anxiety set in, and skepticism was everywhere. To break through this resistance, I knew we had to start with empathy. Instead of forcing the change, I rolled up my sleeves and got to know the people behind the processes. I sat down with them, asked, what do you like about the current system? And what are your biggest worries about the new one? More than just listening, I shadowed them during their workday to understand the clever yet frustrating workarounds they had developed. This step wasn't just about gathering data. It was about earning trust and understanding the emotional landscape of the change. I then created detailed personas to represent key user groups, capturing their needs, goals, and pain points. To deepen my understanding of their experiences and motivations, I also built empathy maps that outlined what users think, feel, say, and do. In addition, I developed a user journey map to visualize the entire process from start to finish. This framework provided a comprehensive view of the experience, from initial concerns to every interaction and touch point, ensuring no detail was overlooked. Together, these tools kept our approach truly user-focused and human-centered, guiding every decision with empathy and insights. Here is a tip for you. Have authentic conversations with your users and watch how they actually work. This gives you insights that surveys and reports can't capture. Armed with newfound empathy, I dug into defining the core issues. Staff were worried about data security, felt overwhelmed by the thought of learning a complex new system, and needed training that was both effective and manageable. So I framed the problem we needed to solve in a user-focused way, centering our efforts on this key question. How might we create a seamless transition that reassures employees about data safety while making the new system intuitive to learn? This clear purpose-driven question kept us on track and laser-focused on what truly mattered. Something to keep in mind here: always define problems based on real user pain points. It makes all the difference when designing effective solutions. Next, it was time to brainstorm solutions. To tackle this, I brought together a diverse group from finance, IT, and HR. We explored a variety of ideas, such as creating a sandbox environment where users could safely experiment without fear of making mistakes. We also considered developing role-based training to address the specific needs of different user groups. Another creative suggestion was a mock data migration to reassure employees that their historical data would be preserved and secure, along with several other innovative solutions. The ideas were flowing, and collaboration was crucial. By involving people with different perspectives, we generated more well-rounded and innovative solutions. Consider this tip: when brainstorming, encourage bold ideas and avoid judging too soon. Sometimes the most unconventional thoughts can lead to breakthroughs. From our brainstorming session, we moved to the prototype phase, where we narrowed down the best ideas and created a sandbox environment. This gave users a safe space to explore the new system without the fear of making mistakes. Rather than overwhelming them with long, tedious training sessions, I provided concise, quick reference guides. Trial sessions allowed us to test our approach and refine it based on collective feedback. Once we had a solid prototype, we moved to real environment testing. We introduced the new system to a small group of users in their actual workflows, observing how it performed with live data and real daily tasks. This testing provided valuable insights, showing where users hesitated or faced issues. We refined both the system and our quick reference guide based on this feedback, ensuring everything met users' needs. As a result, users adapted seamlessly, and the new system became an integral part of their daily work. Remember this: a successful rollout is just the beginning. Keep gathering feedback to ensure ongoing improvement and user satisfaction. Reflecting on this project, the key to our success was empathy. When you put users at the center of your change efforts, you unlock solutions that are both effective and embraced. If you're planning a tech rollout, take a page from the design thinking playbook. Empathize, ideate, prototype, and iterate. That's all for today's episode. I hope you find these insights helpful and that you're inspired to try some of these strategies in your own projects. Thanks for tuning in to Change Bites, and remember, stay impactful.
Thanks for tuning in to Change Bites. We hope these insights inspire meaningful change. For more resources, follow Agile-Brainz on LinkedIn and check the podcast notes for all shared links. Be sure to follow the podcast for more tips.